This one might be the hardest of all of them. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas, and today I want to keep talking about love and what 1 Corinthians chapter 13 says about love. It says all kinds of things about what love is and what love isn't and what love does and doesn't do. And so far we've learned about how we are nothing without love. And we've also learned that love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. And these next two are related. It says, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Some translations say, love does not rejoice in evil, but rejoices in the truth. And so today we're going to talk about that first part where it says, love does not delight in evil, or love does not rejoice in evil. Basically, that's saying that we don't get excited about evil. We don't celebrate what is wrong. And that seems kind of straightforward, but it is not that straightforward, and it is very difficult. Like if I was to ask you if it's wrong to steal candy out of your teacher's desk when they're not looking, if I were to ask you that, I'm pretty sure you'd say, yeah, that's wrong. But let's say you're sitting in class and your teacher steps out and your friend goes up to the desk and pulls out some candy and comes up to you and says, hey, look, I got some candy out of our teacher's desk. You want some? What do? And to make matters worse, what if all your other friends are like, whoa, good job, yay, and they're like cheering for this person for doing something so daring and so cool? What do? This thing that seems so easy becomes very complicated when our friends and our family get involved. Here in the Bible it says that we should not rejoice in evil. It's wrong to steal candy. We shouldn't get excited about it. But that might hurt our relationship with our friend. But we're still not supposed to delight in evil. And here's the thing about evil, is we don't decide what is good and what is evil. We don't decide what's right and wrong. Everybody pretty much acts like we do, but we don't. Everybody kind of feels like the hero of their own story, right? Like anything that they do was justified because they in their own hearts, I in my own heart, we justify. We say this is right, this is wrong, and whatever I'm doing is right. But we don't decide what's right and wrong. God decides what's right and wrong. And when I say that we don't decide what's right and wrong, I mean we as individuals and we as a group. If every single person on the entire earth said that something was good, that God said was bad, you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. God says it's bad, it's bad. And it seems like it's happening a lot these days, especially, but this is something that has happened all throughout history where people will say that something that is bad is good. People do that all the time right now, but like I said, they've always done this. And I think that deep down inside, we know when we've done something wrong. We know when we're doing something wrong. I think deep down we know what's right and wrong. And it's so hard because it seems like love is supporting, right? If you are supporting someone in what they want to do, that seems like the loving thing, right? Well, it might be. I've got a friend who collects stamps. Like the things you put on cards when you mail them in the mail, like physically mail them in the mail. He collects stamps, lots of them, from all over the world. And it is like the most boring collection I could possibly think of. Stamps, I don't care. They are so boring. But he loves them. And actually, there's lots of people that love them. And for me, it's like, more power to you, right? They bore me to tears. But if you think that's awesome, cool. Have fun with that hobby. There's nothing wrong with collecting stamps. So yeah, if I want to be loving, I can support my friend in his stamp collection. And I can listen to him tell me about all these different stamps from all these different places. And I can get excited about him getting excited, even if the thing he's excited about is, boring to me. But what if the thing that my friend is excited about is stealing or something dangerous like, running out into traffic? Am I supposed to get excited about that? No, I'm not. If I did get excited about it, I would be not loving. Even if they say that the not loving thing would be to not support them. This actually happened to me and my family, and it's really hard because we've got one of my cousins, he doesn't come to any of the family stuff anymore. He does not talk to my family. He has completely cut us off because he chose to do something that the Bible says he should not do. And he wanted us to get excited about it. He wanted us to support him in this thing that we know is wrong because God says it's wrong. Now, we weren't mean about it. We didn't yell at him or try to, punish him or something like that. We just did not support it. We did not get excited about this thing that he was excited about. And he got really mad, and he called us all sorts of names for not supporting him, including telling us that we were hateful. He hasn't spoken to us since. But you know what? My cousin does not decide what is right and wrong, good or bad, loving or hateful. God does. And if God says something's wrong, it's wrong. Now, one thing to point out about this verse, this passage where it says love does not delight in evil, it is not saying love punishes evil, or love destroys evil, or love judges evil. That's God's job. I'm not the judge. God is. I'm not the one who decides what's right and wrong. God does. And so if I attack people for doing what God says is wrong, I'm in the same boat as them, right? I'm doing what is wrong. You know, my cousin hasn't spoken to us, but that's not because we have given him the silent treatment. Anytime he wants to come to our house, he's welcome. But because we didn't support him in sin, he cut us off. And that's really hard, but that's because love is often hard. And if someone does not accept that kind of love where you don't get excited about something that they are excited about because it's wrong, well, 1 Corinthians 13 has all sorts of other things that love is. The Bible is full of examples of how to love people. You don't have to support their sin to love them. And so if people hate you and think that you're hateful for not rejoicing in evil, you can still be kind, right? You can be all the things that 1 Corinthians says love is. You know, one of the main reasons why people get very mad when you don't support them, one of the reasons why people want us to celebrate with them when they're doing something that God says is wrong, is because they feel in their hearts that they need other people to tell them that what they're doing is right. Right? They have decided in their hearts that they can choose what's right and wrong, even though God is the only one who can choose what's right and wrong. And they want other people to back them up. And they know deep down inside, they know what's wrong, but they don't want to do things God's way. They want to do things their way. And I say they. We all do this. And truth be told, it doesn't matter what kind of sin we're talking about, you know, how quote unquote bad the sin is. You can find other people that will support you in it. Right? If you were a serial killer and you killed tons and tons of people for fun, I'm sure you could find a community out there of people who would be like, yeah, that's awesome. And most of us, you know, we know that that's terrible, awful. But there are lots of sins, lots of things that God says is wrong that more and more people are saying is not wrong. And they want to celebrate that sin, and they want us to celebrate with them. But if we want to love our friends and our family in a godly way, a way that is true love, we need to not rejoice in evil. And man, one of the things that I see coming up within the church so much that just breaks my heart is people thinking that it is good to hate people, so long as it's the right kind of people, right? In church, people say this. People act like this, like it is okay, and not just okay, but something to celebrate when you can really embarrass somebody who is evil. Right? Like all the time I'll hear people telling jokes, mean, terrible jokes about people that disagree with Christians, putting them down, treating them as if they are worse than us, either to their faces or behind their backs. You know what? We're all in the same boat. We all have sinned. We all need Jesus. So my challenge to you guys today is that you would not rejoice in evil. And that can look like so many different things, and that can be so very hard. And I'm not saying that we need to go punish evil. That's what God does. I'm not saying we need to judge the world. That's what God does. It's not our job. It's God's job. But what I'm saying is that we should not celebrate sin. We should not rejoice in sin or delight in evil. God loves us so much. The stuff that God says is evil, he did not just, randomly pick things on a whim. He says that something is evil if it's bad for us and for others. And the truth is, sometimes when we see someone doing something that we know is wrong, even dangerous, it breaks our hearts. And we want to make them stop. But we should never resort to evil to stop evil, right? Like, I think my friend is going to go do this bad thing, and so I'm gonna be really, really mean to them if they do this bad thing. I'm going to tell them that if they do this bad thing, I'm never speaking to them again. Or we make fun of people that are caught in sin. We ridicule people that are trapped by Satan in what? An effort to save them from him? That's not how it works. That's not what love is. That's not what God has called us to. You don't have to support their sin to love them. And I talked earlier about how this is kind of a two-part thing. It says that love does not rejoice in evil, but rejoices in the truth, or rejoices with the truth. And we'll talk more about that next time. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. And it does not delight in evil. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. And yeah, it's hard. This is a really, really hard one, because when people start saying, if you don't support me in this, you don't love me, that can really confuse us, right? But again, it's not the world that decides what love is, it's God. It's not you, it's not me, it's not the people who go to our church or all the people who don't go to church, it's God. God decides what is right and wrong. And no matter what setting we're in, no matter what scenario we're in, we need to not delight. We need to not rejoice. We need to not celebrate in evil, in sin, in what is wrong, in what's bad for us and for others. And the truth is, not supporting people in their sin might be really painful. People might cut you off. People might call you terrible things. Even if you're not trying to be mean, you're just trying to be loving and trying to hold fast to what is true. And man, I gotta tell you, if you don't support someone who is doing something that's wrong, they're probably gonna get mean. And it can be so easy to get mean when other people are mean to us. And we need to not do that. If people are mean to you for not supporting their sin, it's hard, but you gotta try your best to not get mean back. And we absolutely need God's help for that. So yeah, I'm not saying that we need to be mean or judgmental or go punish the wrongdoers or anything like that, but I am saying that godly love, real love, does not rejoice in evil. So we shouldn't either. And it's not the world who decides what's right and wrong. God decides what is good and evil. Love does not rejoice in evil.